Welcome, welcome. Let me get some better light going on in here. It's time for the Fertility Roadmap. I still don't like the lighting. Let me get some more light. Okay. I don't know that helped my lighting any. I don't know if that helped. Wait, now the light in the back over here is throwing it off. Okay, I think this is the best we're going to get. So we got about 3 minutes until we start. Drop in your name and where you're tuning in from. Drop in if you have any type of fertility diagnosis. Drop in if you have any type of fertility diagnosis. Let me make sure I'm posting this in all my groups. Drop in the chat if you have any type of fertility diagnosis that you want me to show you the roadmap to. Drop in the comments if you have a diagnosis. Drop where you're watching from. We're going from diagnosis to delivery. From diagnosis to delivery. From diagnosis to delivery. And this is all in my book called The Fertility Cheat Code. This is all in my book called The Fertility Cheat Code. You know what? I'm going to go live on TikTok at the same time so I can get some traction going. All right, we're going to be starting in less than 1 minute. Don't want that. No. Can I get a regular face? There we go. Okay. All right, so I'm looking at YouTube. Hey, it's your girl, Michelle Tillman, aka Miss Fertility Freak. And we are talking about the Fertility Roadmap. The Fertility Roadmap. So, YouTube over here, how y'all doing? TikTok, we're over here, how y'all doing? So, the Fertility Roadmap is very basic. Crystal's from Louisiana. How you doing, Crystal? I see Victor on TikTok. Drop a 1 if this is your first time. Drop a 2 if you've been here before. I see Warrior. I see Hank. I see Estrus. I see Dima. How you doing? So the fertility roadmap is very simple. This is in my book, The Fertility Cheat Code, The Fertility Roadmap. And this is what we're about to be breaking down. This is what we're about to break down, the fertility roadmap. So what you need to know is no matter where you start or what your diagnosis is, there's a roadmap for you to get your miracle baby. So I say from diagnosis to delivery, right? So we want to get you from having your diagnosis to delivering your healthy baby. That is the goal here, from diagnosis to delivery. That's what this book is all about. The Fertility Cheat Code. You can get it on Amazon. You can go to my profile and head over to my website, which is fertilityfreak.com. And we're talking about from diagnosis to delivery. How do you get from diagnosis to delivery? Now, I have it perfectly set up for my YouTube. So those who are on TikTok, I'm not sure how easy you're going to be able to see. Let's see if I can move it a little bit better. Okay, so I'm gonna start like this. So know this, no matter where you start, you can get to your pregnancy. So let's say you have had multiple miscarriages. So we're gonna say you start with miscarriages. I'm gonna do an M. Can y'all see that on here? Let's see. TikTok. Let's see an M. So you start with miscarriages. So the first thing we want to do, if you're having multiple miscarriages, right? The first thing you want to know is, why am I having multiple miscarriages? Why am I having multiple miscarriages, and what can I do about it? Why am I having multiple miscarriages, and what can I do about it? So your roadmap, the first step in your roadmap is getting testing done. So we're going to go from miscarriages to testing. And I'm going to write a T for testing. All right. So before you can try to get pregnant again, before you're even trying to get pregnant again, you got to have testing done. In my book, I list about 13 tests that your doctor needs to be running, right? 13 tests your doctor needs to be running. So when your doctor, and here's what happens too, don't just let them run the tests and then tell you, oh, it all came back normal. No. Send me the results. You need to ask for the results, and you need to send it to your coach or whoever's helping you through, trying to boost your fertility. So you need to, when you have a miscarriage, so you start with the M, miscarriage. The next thing you need to do is get T for test results. So after you get the book, know all 13 test results. So when you go test, you need to have done. So when you go to your doctor, you can be like, okay, you're on the recurrent loss page, right? This page that has recurrent loss in the book. You need to be telling them, hey, I'm trying to figure out why I keep having miscarriages. Please don't just send me home and tell me to try again. Please don't just send me home and tell me to try again. These are the 13 tests that my coach told me I should be asking you for. Can you run all 13, please? And when you get the results, I need you to send me the actual results so I can review the numbers for myself and have them for my records. Don't just tell me everything's okay. So your roadmap, when you have recurrent loss, is getting testing done to find out the reasons. Then once you get the reasons done, then okay, based on the reasons that I may be having these recurrent miscarriages, now I have to take that information and start shifting my lifestyle so we can shift the issues that got me there in the first place. So after you go from miscarriage to test results, then we're going to say L. L is for lifestyle change. So once you find out what your results are, then you know what lifestyle changes you need to make. What are lifestyle changes? Okay, so we need to address things like stress. You need to address things like stress. It is so important that you guys are not pretending like your stress does not exist. You have to address your stress. Another thing you have to address is your sleep. If you're not getting a good night's sleep, you're not even giving your body a chance to repair from the stress that you're dealing with. So if you're dealing with stress, if you're dealing with recurrent losses, please know that stress is not your fault that you're stressed. That's not the reason why you had a miscarriage, because it's no one's fault and nobody knows all these things. But know this, that when you're trying to recover and when you're trying to allow your body to naturally repair from whatever your body has been through, you cannot repair it if you're not getting enough sleep. So if your body has went through some traumatic experiences, you have got to address the stress and your sleep. Sleep is the only time some of y'all ever fast. So sometimes your body needs a break from food. Some of y'all eat so late at night and so early in the morning, there's no break from food. Your body has to just be able to heal itself, and you can do that during your sleep. All right. So another thing that you need to consider is, okay, well, maybe you sleep great. Maybe you're working on your stress, right? But what about what you supply your body with every day? Your sleep, your stress, and what you supply your body with. And when I say supply, I mean food. So and the time frame that you eat food. Like I said, your body repairs itself at night because that's when you're not eating. So sometimes you need to stretch your eating window out. Close your eating window so that your body has more time to repair. So supply your body with enough time to repair by eating differently and eating it in a different time frame. So one of those lifestyle changes is intermittent fasting. So you have multiple miscarriages, you have to get testing done. Once you get those results, then the results will help us know what lifestyle changes you make. Some of the basic lifestyle changes that you always are going to make are your sleep, right? Your stress, and then what you supply your body with. And what you supply your body with is food. So you want to make sure you're eating fertility foods. And you want to make sure you're eating in at max a 12-hour window. 12-hour window. So if your first meal is at 6 a.m., you don't want to be eating again at 10 p.m. at night. You should not eat again after 6 p.m. So if you want to be able to eat later, start eating later. If you're like, no, I want to eat at 8 p.m. Okay, well, don't eat your first meal till 8 a.m. Give your body a full 12 hours to recoup and heal and recover. If you're constantly eating, you're constantly causing all these insulin spikes and resistance, which, especially if you have something like a PCOS or endometriosis, those are really important issues that you don't overlook. Okay, so are you following me? If you have multiple miscarriages, step 1, get testing. Step 2, make the lifestyle changes. So you're on the 3rd step of your roadmap. The 4th step of your roadmap is to find out, are you ovulating? How do we know if you're ovulating? Well, one of the lifestyle changes you have to do, and this is not really a lifestyle change, but one of the things you do to measure your cycle and to see if there's any irregularities or things you need to shift we're taking our basal body temperature. All right. So your roadmap: miscarriage, testing, lifestyle changes, basal body temperature. And you're taking your basal body temperature because it's going to tell you how long your follicular phase is, how long your luteal phase is. The temperature of your body can suggest whether you have very low estrogen, high testosterone. You need to know where your Lord, what's the word? Hormones. You need to know the levels of your hormones. So while you're learning all of these things, you're taking your basal body temperature every single day. And this, you're using it as a diagnostic tool. And if you don't know how to read your chart as a diagnostic, Google it, right? But if you don't want to Google it, then you can get with a coach who can walk you through it. That's what I do. So you're starting here, you're going here, then you're going here, and you're starting to take your basal body temperature. That's going to use as a diagnostic tool for your cycle. And then as you're using it over a 2 to 3 month period, you can confirm that you are ovulating. All right. So you're starting from miscarriage to testing, to lifestyle changes, to taking your basal body temperature, to confirming that you're ovulating. I know you're like, well, I could have confirmed over here. Yeah, but it didn't matter if you hadn't made the lifestyle changes first, because a lot of y'all, your bodies have been through so much because of so many things you've been through in your life. Trauma, because of birth control that you were on. You had no idea that the birth control was jacking you all up, and it takes you months and years to detox from the birth control because somebody told you that your birth control was regulating your period, when really, when you take birth control, you're not having a period. You're having a birth control bleed, which is not a period. That's a whole nother lie for a whole nother day. But please know that you want to know what you're ovulating like after you have made these lifestyle changes. Make the lifestyle changes, start taking your basal body temperature so we can use it as a diagnostic tool to confirm that you are ovulating. So what else can you do after we know that you're ovulating? Then I'm going to put you on a H. H is a holistic regimen, right? But if you never do the lifestyle changes for long enough, you can't even get to this part. Most people get stuck right here. They get stuck right here. They get stuck on the lifestyle change part. That's most people. I'm not picking on anybody, but that's most people. So you can start doing your basal body temperature at the beginning. You can start knowing that you're ovulating at the beginning. But the truth is, those holistic regimens that I will have you do based on when you ovulate, knowing that you ovulate, some of the holistic changes that you need to make and practices, you got to have an open mind to know, you know what, I'm going to try something different. I know maybe this doesn't seem like it's going to help me, but let me try something different. Okay. So you start making these holistic changes because everything else is in place. Some people, they don't want to take no tests. They don't want to take no results. Just tell me the holistic stuff to do. Well, hold up now. There's a roadmap to this, and there's a roadmap for a reason. So you start with whatever your circumstances is. Recurrent miscarriage. You get your test. You do your lifestyle changes. You use BBT as a diagnostic tool. You confirm you're ovulating. Then you work on holistic changes. Once you start doing these, it's only a matter of time before we come back and you are pregnant. So how many steps away is somebody who has recurrent miscarriages? How many steps away are they from getting pregnant? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps. And then on their 6th step, that's where pregnancy comes. But you got to follow the steps. If you're not following the steps, I'm talking about holistically now. Now, some of y'all want to go to the doctor and pop a pill and hope that it overrides all the stuff your body is going through. But I'm not talking to those people. I'm talking about people who are interested in holistic healing. If you want to be healed from the inside out, from your spirit man down to your vagina, You want to make sure that you know what you're doing. Shiloh says, what about fibroids? Okay, I'll do fibroids next. We went to 7 doctors. One IVF doctor said don't operate. Okay, why why did they say don't operate, and why'd you go to 7 doctors? So let's start. So when you have recurrent miscarriages, you need to be consistent. You need to get all your test results. You and your husband. Hello, you and your husband. You got to make the lifestyle changes. Some of y'all are so stuck in your routines. Well, I don't want to eat that. That don't taste good. That don't look good. Well, this is the workout I always do. I've been doing this for 2 years. Okay, but you're not pregnant, so it's time to shift. Maybe your Pilates workout ain't what you need to do anymore. Maybe you have to change that. Maybe your low fat diet is not hitting it anymore. Maybe your 1,200 calories is what's throwing you off because you don't eat enough. You got to get over yourself and say, you know what? If I knew what to do, I'd already be pregnant and already have my baby by now. So let me try something else. Let me try something else and be consistent at it. All right. So lifestyle changes. You can literally be 5 steps away from getting pregnant if you've had multiple miscarriages. But it starts here, getting your test results, T for test results. And I know this is really messy, but I'm just trying to make a point so it can be clear to you and show you how simple. I'm not saying it's easy, but it is simple steps that you have to follow and be consistent with. All right. And not just you, again, not just you and your spouse. And if you hear somebody talking, that's my baby down there. He's very impressed with my presentation, even on my daughter's chalkboard. Hello. All right, so let's start with fibroids. Someone said, well, what if you have fibroids? You have fibroids. So more than likely, if you have fibroids, you have got some inflammation going on, right? And hey, Jamisha from East St. Louis, what's up, girl? So I was recommended the operation because of scar tissue. Okay, so we're gonna talk about fibroids. So okay, yeah. So a lot of times the surgeries that you are recommended cause more scar tissue. So good job for you for being careful and wanting to know. So you have to be careful with. I'm not saying don't get your operations, but please know they can cause more scar tissue, which can make it even harder to get pregnant. They don't tell you that part. That's another page in my book. Before I go into the fibroids, please know another page in the book is talking about, well, if I go to the doctor and they tell me that I need operation or surgery or procedure, what you need to be asking them. Wait, where is it at? I know it's in there. I just read it. Oh, okay, here it is. Under the facts about your fertility, know that you need to be asking them, is this procedure urgent? That's your first question. Is this urgent? Like, is this life or death? Because if it's life or death, then why are we still talking? Give me the surgery, right? But what could happen if I don't get this procedure? What happens if I don't get this procedure? Would it be safe for me to get pregnant if I do nothing? If I do nothing else and I get pregnant, is that safe? Or am I putting myself at risk? Like there's like about 7 questions that you need to ask, but those are just a few. So anytime you're being told that you need a surgery, make sure you got your book with you, or you have it up on your phone. You can get the ebook. These are available at fertilityfreak.com, also on Amazon if you want a hard copy on Amazon, or you can go to fertilityfreak.com and get the ebook. But you need to make sure that you are asking the questions, because you don't want to be sitting there getting surgeries and then they're not telling you, oh yeah, well actually you didn't need that surgery, or oh yeah, well actually if you do this surgery sometimes you get more scar tissue and it's even more harder to get pregnant. So then why are you giving me the surgery? So what are the risks? You need to know the risk, okay? So just please know that. And Tam Mack says, yep, living testimony. I wish I had knew before all my surgeries. Yeah, I'm so sorry to hear that, Tam. But yeah, that's sometimes they just either they're unaware or they just, I don't know, or if they're getting a kickback from doing the surgery, I don't know. Okay. So I'm just gonna address a few questions. Michelle says, I just been off birth control for 7 months. My body's finally getting back to normal. Yes, it can take, depending on how long you were on, it can take months to years to get your body back. So make sure you give yourself time to detox and make sure you're healing holistically. And so Shiloh says most surgeries end in hysterectomy. Ooh, well, yeah. See, now if you thinking you're getting something small and then they give you a hysterectomy, oh, then you're getting sued for sure. You're getting sued for sure. You're on for 2 years, Michelle. What type of birth control were you on? Okay, but as she's talking about what type of birth control she's on, I'm going to do the fibroids fertility roadmap. This is also in my book, so if you want a copy of this on paper, then make sure, or on an ebook, make sure you grab the book at fertilityfreak.com. You can go to my profile page. If you're on TikTok, click on my picture in the top right-hand corner, and then click on my face and go to my website, fertilityfreak.com. Okay, so, all right, so if you start with fibroids, the first thing you need to do is get holistic testing done. So if you notice, what I talk about in my course, what I walk my students through is testing, using testing as a tool. Okay, now we're going to pray all day and we're going to we're going to pray all day, right? But we need to know what we're working with. Faith with the facts. Faith, but have the facts. That's literally section 1 of this book, faith and the facts. You need to know the facts about your fertility. We need to stop sitting here acting like we don't want to know what the doctor says. You don't have to receive what the doctor is saying, but you do need to know. You can at least, if for anything, know what you need to pray against. Okay? Know what you need to pray against. So let the doctor run all the tests because you pay for your good insurance so they can run all the tests that you need to. What is the point of having your insurance and having these deductibles and having these things you can get done if you don't use it? So use the test. Use your insurance to get the test results. So if you're having fibroids, you need to be tested for any, there's like about 10 tests in the book that I recommend that you can get done. But then there's also holistic tests that are not done by your OBGYN. Everything that's stopping you from getting pregnant is not necessarily just your reproductive organs. It's not just your reproductive organs. Sometimes it's what you're eating, it's micronutrient deficiencies. So for my clients or people who read the book, it tells you in the book what tests you need to get done. You want to start by getting testing done to see if you have micronutrient deficiencies, to see if you're intolerant to certain foods, to see if there's any reproductive issues in your body that you need to have addressed. And now when I say address, I'm not talking about surgery. You just need to know what are the things that my body is doing. Just find out. Now, if you need coaching to walk you through all this, like, okay, well, this sounds good, but I need help, then you can get coaching and I can work with you. But you want to start with, okay, I know I got fibroids. Let me get all the testing done. And everything always leads to the next thing. You got to get lifestyle changes. So we'll go here. L is lifestyle changes. What are the lifestyle changes? The same things apply no matter what your diagnosis is. You got to eat different. What are you supplying your body with every day? The 3 S's. What you supply your body with, that's your food. How you sleep. You got to sleep enough time for your body to repair itself every night. So you got to stop eating at 6 a.m. and eating at 10 p.m. You need to eat in a 12-hour window. And then the next S is stress. You have to address stress. Whatever the stresses are in your life, you got to figure out, how can I make this stress decrease? How can I make this stress not as bad on my body? What are some stress things I can do? What does my therapist say? What does my support group say? Being a part of a support group is important. So lifestyle changes are the 3 S's that you need to address. The 3 S's you must address. Okay. So after you start getting lifestyle changes in, you got to do what's next. Y'all should know. You got to start taking your BBT. That's what the B is, your BBT, your basal body temperature, because we're using that as a diagnostic tool. So once you start making the lifestyle changes, let's see what your cycle is really like. Some of you don't even know what your cycle is really like because you've been on birth control so long. Your body is detoxing. You eat crazy. You eat stuff that your body, you think you eat healthy, but you're eating stuff that's not boosting your fertility. So when your body's in optimal condition to get pregnant, that's the body we need to evaluate. So we're evaluating where you start, but we want to see those changes, improvements. So that's when we start taking your basal body temperature, using it as a diagnostic tool. Now, after that, there's specific holistic things that people who have fibroids need to do that maybe other people, I mean, they could benefit from it, but maybe not necessarily need it. So if you have fibroids, I have some holistic remedies that I will recommend that you do about 10 days of every month that can essentially, if done right, and if you're continuing to keep up everything, your fibroids will either shrink drastically, fall out, literally they can fall out in the potty, and or shrink drastically, which means they are out of the way and stop sucking up the nutrients that your body needs. So this is the problem when you have fibroids. It's not necessarily the size of the fibroids. It's the fact that fibroids leach onto your body like a baby, and they zap all the nutrients out of your body. So more than likely, if you have fibroids, once you get this testing done, you're going to realize you have tons of nutrient deficiencies. You might feel weak, you might feel tired, you might be bleeding heavy because the fibroids are taking your nutrients every day. So you've got to get the testing done to see what nutrients you are deficient in. And that will help you know what type of lifestyle changes you have to make up for the fact that you got fibroids. So you got fibroids, you see the test results, you make the lifestyle changes. So we don't start from fibroids anymore. You start from fibroids maybe that are so small or so weak that they don't affect your pregnancy. You can have a whole baby and fibroids at the same time. So please don't think because you got fibroids, that means you can't get pregnant. You just want to make sure that they're as small as possible or that you can release them by making holistic changes that I would recommend. If you're a client, I will walk you through all these steps. But you got to do the roadmap. You can't just jump to, well, I'm going to just do the holistic changes, but I don't want to change my lifestyle. But I don't want to take the test to know how I should even change my lifestyle. So some of you are stuck up here because you won't do T and L. You won't do your lifestyle changes and you won't do the 3 S's. So you have to know what you're working with. Show me what you're working with. That's why I'm like, send me your test results. When you become one of my clients, send me your test results. Show me what you're working with. Right? And we'll get to low progesterone. So, but basically, the key to all this is testing. Now, you could just give yourself progesterone, but instead of just giving yourself progesterone, well, let's find out why your progesterone is low and fix that. So that way you don't have to be dependent upon taking progesterone. Why is your progesterone low? That's what the testing is. Right? So if you did chemo in 2021 and I'm 42, can you get pregnant? Yeah, you can get pregnant. You need to ask your doctor, is it safe? Is it safe to get pregnant? Is my body, you need to do testing to see the status of your body so you know if you have enough micronutrients to support you and the baby. And you need to talk to your doctor to ask them, is it safe for me to get pregnant based on what I've had done in 2021? So talk to your doctor, and when they clear you and say yes, then let's get to work. Because you said you're 42, let's get to work. All right, so back to the fibroids example. You got fibroids, you got to get testing done to see the status of your body. You got to make the lifestyle changes with the 3 S's. Then you start doing your B for basal body temperature. And then you're making holistic changes. That's like the icing on the cake. Some people try to skip everything and just go to the end and like, okay, well, tell me what herbs to take. Just tell me the herbs. No. You ain't changed none of this, but you want to know the herbs. You want to know the supplements, but you ain't changed none of this. Let's change these things first. So all those things are icing on the cake to what you already been doing. Endometriosis, you can still concede, absolutely. Now, if you have stage 4, you're going to have to do probably a little bit more work before you get to that point. But yes. So if you want to send me numbers, Michelle, then you would need to book a consultation, because I won't be able to read your numbers and look at your charts and all that just from the live. You would need to book a consultation, and then we can go through it, and I'll give you your personal pregnancy plan. But I won't be able to go over people's specific numbers on the live today. So, but thank you. I'm gonna make sure I follow you so that we can talk your numbers specifically. So if you want specific, like with your numbers and all that, then we'll definitely, you can book a consultation, or you can join the group coaching program, and we will go over your pregnancy plan on Monday. All right. So once you make the holistic changes, you're now in a place, if you have fibroids, testing, lifestyle changes, basal body temperature, holistic practices, then you go from there to pregnancy. And then you're going to have a full-term pregnancy, and you want to deliver your baby. So if you have fibroids, how many steps away from having a healthy delivery are you from your diagnosis to your delivery? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. So what's the common theme here? The common theme is, no matter what your issue is, if you already know what your issue is reproductively, then you have some test results that I need to see and help you reevaluate. If you have your reproductive test, but you don't have your holistic test, then my first thing I'm going to do is recommend that you start holistic testing first. I need to know holistically where your body is, what your body's saying about your micronutrient levels and your food. So then we can create a plan for your lifestyle changes. You shouldn't just follow any random plan. You should follow a plan that's specific to you. Now, of course, there's certain foods that you know you can eat that are going to help you. Hold on, guys. My baby's doing a lot of talking. Hey, big boy. Hey, big boy. Hey, what you doing? What you doing? So just know that you can follow a basic plan that's going to help, but in order to have the best results, you really need to know exactly what your specific body needs. You need to know what your specific body needs. If you were looking for a copy of this book, it's at Amazon.com, or you can go to my website and get the ebook, fertilityfreak.com. You can go, if you're on TikTok, click on my profile and go to the link in my profile and you can see it. Or go to fertilityfreak.com. Fertilityfreak.com. Okay. So basically what we're saying here is, for the fertility roadmap, it's essentially a 5-step process. Testing, lifestyle changes. All the 3 S's need to be addressed. Now, sometimes you might focus on one S more than the other, but that's okay, because you're still working, you're still moving. I had a discussion with one of my clients yesterday, and she said she was stressed, so she was going to take a break. And I actually told her, you're not taking a break. You're just focusing on one more of the S's. You're just focusing on the stress S a little bit more than the other S's. So you're still on the roadmap. You're just picking what area you're going to focus on. You're still on the plan. You're just picking which area you're going to focus on. So once you're focusing on these 3 things becomes habit to you, and you've been doing them for 90 days, All these things, basal body temping, you can start before, but no, about 90 days is when you really start seeing the results in shifting in your basal body temperature. And then you start adding in the holistic changes to make it icing on top. Some things you can do every day, some things you can change in your makeup, some things you can change in your perfumes, body washes, all that stuff. And then that's where you get to your pregnancy, because you've handled all this. So now you're evaluating your most healthy self. You're evaluating your most healthy self. So the key to this is knowing you are literally like 5 steps away from your miracle baby. 5 steps away. Hey, big boy. And I'm going to answer any questions that you might have. Now, of course, if you have specific details in your specific, numbers or whatever, then I won't be able to address that. That'll be more a private call. But if you have like some general questions, then let's get started. Let's answer those questions. This is my miracle baby. He is 5 months old, and he is definitely talking. Say hi, everyone. Say hi. Say hi. I'm looking for questions. So just know the roadmap is simple. I'm not saying it's easy, but it's simple. The simple part is knowing that you are literally like 5 chessboard moves away. You are literally like 5 chessboard moves away from your miracle baby. Right? There's only a few simple things that you have to be consistent with. And I say simple, I'm not saying easy. I'm saying simple means it's not complicated, but you have got to be determined and have the discipline to say, I'm going to do these simple things no matter what. I'm going to at least be doing something. You might not be doing everything, but you at least going to do something. You have to ask yourself, what am I truly willing to do to reach my goal of having my miracle baby? Like, what am I truly willing to give up? What am I truly willing to say, I'm going to do this when it feels good, and I'm going to do it when it don't feel good? Knowing that there's always something that you can be doing. There's always something that you can be working on. And most of you, the things that you've experienced in your life, regards to your fertility, is not your fault, and it has nothing to do with you. You just didn't know that you should be shifting certain areas. You just didn't know that there were certain things you could have changed because no one explained it to you. So your doctor may be pro medical intervention, or your doctor may be pro overriding your body instead of working with your body. You looking at the colors? Yeah. So instead of overriding your body, you want to work with your body. Instead of overriding your body, you want to work with your body. Right? So let me give you an example. This is why people get IVF and it doesn't work. Let me tell you why it doesn't work. Because you have a diagnosis right here, right? Whatever your diagnosis is, whether it be endometriosis, low AMH, low ovarian reserve, and your body is screaming, I have all these issues right here. I need you to address the sleep. I need you to address what you supply your food with daily. I need you to address your stress. I need you to evaluate your cycle. Right? I need you to do all those things so we can have a baby. You need to take some more holistic tests. All those things need to happen. Because you have this diagnosis, you got to do all this work in the middle. But instead, what your doctor doesn't do is address these things. They just tell you, oh no, skip that. Let's just get IVF. And let's just hope that the medication turns off the signal in your body to make it realize it needs all this. Let's hope the IVF turns off the signal in your body that tells you that's telling you you don't have enough nutrients, you don't have enough this, you don't have enough that. Let's just hope the IVF medications turn that all off, and then you can get your baby. Now, I'm not saying that all doctors who would give or recommend IVF are doing that, but a lot of them are. A lot of them are telling you need IVF to get to your baby when you really need this middle part. You need the 3 S's, and you need test results that are not reproductive related. So they want you to skip that, get your IVF so you can get a baby. But the problem is sometimes the medication is like, oh, no, we see what you got going on here. We see what you got going on here. No, your body's not ready for a baby. It doesn't always override everything. So you got to know, just because you can pay for IVF, that don't mean it's going to work. That don't mean the IVF medications are going to completely override everything your body is saying to get to your baby. But you're going to save yourself about $50,000 and a whole bunch of medication and a whole bunch of feeling crazy in your body from all the things you have to do to it if you would just address your body holistically, skip the IVF, get pregnant naturally, and have your baby. So this is the key to knowing your roadmap, knowing that you're just a few lifestyle changes away from your baby. You're just a few months of being consistent in lifestyle changes away from your baby. So what it's about to be June. So if you're dedicated all of June, all of July, all of August, you start trying in September. You start trying in October. You can be pregnant by the end of this year. But you got to bust a move. You got work to do now. You got to know, you got to start getting those test results, those holistic test results now. So you can begin implementing the changes that are appropriate for your body. So after 3 months of doing all your lifestyle changes, you get to your baby. So listen, it's going to be time or money. Do you want to take the time to do the holistic changes, or do you want to pay the money and hope that the IVF overrides what your body is saying? And you are literally doing nothing but hoping that the IVF overrides what your body is saying. Now, if you know you don't have tubes, or you're already in menopause and you know you have to get IVF, then the best thing you can do is to holistically improve so that when you do get your IVF, you have a chance of it actually being successful. You don't want to go into IVF eating cheeseburgers and French fries and drinking sweet tea every day and coffee and candy. You've been trying for 7 months, no result. Trying what, though? I got 27 things I need you to try before you tell me you've been trying. 27 things. So if you're really wanting to get pregnant, then I need you to either jump in group coaching or go into the Fertility Faith Club, where you can get the 27 things you need to look at, or you can grab my book. So anytime someone says they've been trying, I always let them know there's about 27 things you need to be trying. I got a fertility checklist that's in this book. So you can either get the e-copy, or you can get a hardback copy. It's different areas in your faith, in your basal body temping, and your supplementation, and your holistic healing. You got to address all those areas to get pregnant. You got to address all those issues to get pregnant. And you're 43, about to be 44. Can you conceive naturally? Do you have a monthly period? Are your tubes open? The answer would be yes. If either one of those is not true, then we'd have to do a little more discussion. Doreen says, I purchased an online book from you. You haven't received it. It comes to you automatically. Make sure you check your spam. I just followed you, so you can send me a DM, and I'll make sure you get the book. But the book comes right. Most people overlook it. It's usually in their spam folder. But if you order on Amazon, you got to contact Amazon. But how do you know if your tubes are blocked? You get an HSG. You get an HSG from your OBGYN, and they'll do a dye test through your tubes, and they'll tell you whether or not your tubes are blocked or whether or not they're compromised. All right. Hey, don't you hit yourself, boy. Oh, you got a boo. Oh, you went boo-boo. That's why you talking. All right, guys. So I hope this has been helpful. I've been going for 50 minutes talking about the Fertility Roadmap and how to know that you are literally only like 5 steps away from having your miracle baby. But you got to get started. You got to get to work. Okay, if you're ready to work, then message me. Go to my website, fertilityfreak.com, and or comment on a video or something, and I'll reach out to you, because you can get you can start group coaching, or you can join the Fertility Faith Club, or you can buy the book. There's so many different ways that you can get the help that you need. Don't let $27 be the reason why you don't know what to do, right? What are we talking about? JJ, we were talking about the fertility cheat code. I've been going for an hour, girl. You'll have to watch the replay. The fertility roadmap. I'm sorry. The fertility roadmap, no matter what your diagnosis, how you go from your diagnosis to delivering your healthy baby. F. DeLine says, I was taking Depo-Provera for over 20 years. Oh, my Lord. But my health is good, but the HSG says my tubes are blocked. Okay, so let's start. You don't have to, you can get an e-copy of the book, Breaking, so you don't have to worry about it being mailed to you if you live in Kosovo. You can just get a digital copy, so don't worry about it being mailed. Just get the digital download. You can download that anywhere. So Depo-Provera is one of the worst birth controls that do a number on your body, and that probably has something to do with the reason why your tubes are blocked. But I just pray that just know this: your health, your reproductive organs are a reflection of your health. So when you say your health is good, but your tubes are blocked, your tubes being blocked is a representation of your health. So know that your health was affected by something in the Depo-Provera, but like sometimes doctors don't tell you, so you don't know. It ain't your fault. Nobody told you that. But like, especially being on it for 20 years, it can take a long time for your health to recover from being on the Depo-Provera. So the book is available in digital download. So just know that you can go and get it from my website, fertilityfreak.com. You can get a hard copy from Amazon if you want, like a copy like this, or you can just do the digital download. All right, big boy. So thank y'all so much for tuning in. I will see y'all again tomorrow. Oh boy, yeah, we got some boo-boo. We got some boo-boo to address. Get ready for these boo-boo diapers. They're coming. They're coming. The boo-boo diaper is coming for you, and I know you're going to love every moment of it because you deserve it. God sees you. He hears you. Tell him how you feeling and let him know what you desire. It's coming. Here go Ashley. This for you. Here you go, girl. Here you go. I know you can smell it. Yes, he is always boo-boo, and you're right. That's what babies do. Yep, at least 8 to 10 diapers a day. 8 to 10 diapers a day. But thank y'all for tuning in, for learning the fertility roadmap. If you're a client of mine and you're on and you're like, well, where am I in the roadmap? What things am I missing? We're going to talk about that on our next call. What are you missing? Where are you in the roadmap, and what are you missing? So for my clients, we'll talk next Monday. Or you can email me, and I'll make sure you know where you're at in the roadmap. Okay. Or you can drop it in the group. Or actually, I'm going to drop a question in the group. Where are you at in the roadmap? All right. So let's go get this Miracle Boy's butt changed because he got boo-boo and it's about to be everywhere. Bye.